Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Let's Talk TriState. Today is Tuesday, January 14th. We are 6 days away from Inauguration Day, 31 days away from Valentine's Day, and a mere 65 days away from spring 2025. Cannot wait for that, especially when you hear snow in the forecast like this. Scattered flurries today, high of 29. For tonight, mostly clear and cold, very cold, low of 18. And for your Wednesday, hump day, sunny, high of 29. Today is National Dress Up Your Pet Day, and some interesting things that happened on this day in history. 73 years ago in 1952, NBC's Today Show premiered. I didn't know this. It was created by Sigourney Weaver's father. 71 years ago today in 1954, Marilyn Monroe married her second husband, baseball legend Joe DiMaggio. They would divorce in October. 53 years ago in 72, Sanford & Son premiered on NBC. You big dummy. 35, that was one of my father's favorite shows. 35 years ago in 1990, The Simpsons officially kicked off its first season on Fox. It was technically their second episode after its first airing, a Christmas special in mid-December. And finally, 9 years ago in 2016, Alan Rickman passed away at the age of 69. He was diehard villain Hans Gruber and misunderstood Harry Potter hero. I never watched Harry Potter, so it's either Severus or Severus. I think Severus would probably be correct. Snape. Oh my goodness, one of those days. So we've got a lot going on today when it comes to Let's Talk Tri-State. Tons of great interviews for you. By the way, you are listening to this on 92.1 The GOAT. You can also view it live every single day on our YouTube page at 921thegoat.com. All the links can be found there. Watch the live stream, see the interviews that you are hearing, and we certainly value your feedback and invite you to like our Facebook page, 921 The GOAT. Coming up, we've got to check at news, and we'll have our first interview on Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice, voted 2024 Best of the Tri-State winner.
I'm Nick Seco from Home Right Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Here's your Let's Talk Tri-State news for January 14th, 2025. Be on the lookout. Scammers are targeting EasyPass users in several states with a simple con designed to snatch your account credentials. You get a text that looks like it's from EasyPass toll system that says you owe money for tolls and you need to pay immediately. The messages claim you owe a modest amount, typically $6.99 in unpaid tolls. Now that's part of the effectiveness of the scam because it's such a minor amount that most people would not question it. But they're not after the $6.99, they're ultimately after your identity. The official looking link is fake and will direct you to a site where scammers can pull down all your personal information. Now here's the deal. EasyPass does not text you for payment ever. So if you get one of these texts, do not click the link. Simply delete it. Tell your friends to do the same if they get one and move on. Heather Markle has been appointed Chief Nursing Officer at Meredith Medical Center. Markle, who has served as interim CNO for the past few months, brings more than 20 years of experience for diverse clinical and leadership experience to the role. With a clinical background in emergency nursing operations and leadership, Markle recently held the roles of Director of Clinical Operations for the Division of Nursing, as well as Director of Emergency Services, Trauma, and Forensics. At last evening's Washington Township Supervisors meeting in Waynesboro, Jason Wolfgang was sworn in as Chief of the Washington Township Police Department. Chief Wolfgang has been with the Township Police for 23 years and graduated from the IUP Police Academy. During his time with Washington Township Police, Chief Wolfgang started as a patrolman, moved to the rank of patrolman first class, and progressed to the corporal's position. Congratulations, Chief Wolfgang. And finally, in some sad news, a 36-year-old man was killed when his truck veered off the road and hit a tree in Franklin County early Monday morning. Pennsylvania State Police said the crash happened at 6:27 a.m. at 750 Mont Alto Road in Guilford Township. The man, whose name has not been released, was driving north on Mont Alto Road when he failed to navigate a left-hand curve, according to police. His truck went off the right side of the road, crossed a median, and continued northeast through the intersection of E.B. Road and Mont Alto Roads before striking a tree in a front yard. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. We'll be back with more on Let's Talk Tri-State.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk Tri-State with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro. The right choice. They can take great care of you if you need windows. Katie, she had an estimate done on windows. They did it very quickly for her, so we thank them. We thank Nick, the owner, and the entire family for being with us on Let's Talk Tri-State. Speaking of being with us, we have two guests today. One's a familiar face. The other one, I believe, first time. It is first time, Michael. Okay. We have BJ, tell me with your last name.
Getz.
BJ Getz. He is the president and CEO of Middletown Valley Bank. And we are joined by Michael Stanford. He is board member, longest serving board member, mind you, of the Community Free Clinic of Washington County. Gentlemen, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Tiny.
So we have a big event coming up. I shouldn't say we. You have a big event benefiting the Community Free Clinic. It is happening, as my notes say, on the 8th of February. What is the Masquerade Gala? And I think, Michael, you can take us for a ride on that one.
So it's actually our 35th year in business. Mm-hmm. When I say in business, serving Washington County, uninsured folks of Washington County. So anyone who doesn't have insurance can come to the clinic and be seen. We're basically a primary care location, and then we have a lot of specialists that work with us as well. Over the last 35 years, we've had hundreds of local practitioners that have donated their time there. We are a not-for-profit, and we raise our own money, so we're not a federally qualified clinic. So every dollar that comes in, we raise through grants or fundraisers, that type of thing. So every dollar that comes in is very important to us because, again, we deal with the uninsured of Washington County. So the gala is a celebration of our 35 years, as well as bringing something to the community that's going to be fun and raise some money. BJ and with Middletown Valley Bank is our platinum sponsor, along with other sponsors. We look to make this a really great event.
BJ, I don't think I've ever met a president or CEO of a company that operates their marketing like you do when it comes to being on Let's Talk Tri-State and being platinum sponsor for this event. You take the time that you would otherwise pay for or is given to you, and you give it to someone else. I think that you are very talented at paying it forward, BJ.
Absolutely, Tiny. And, if I talk about the, Middletown Valley Bank and its involvement in the community, I mean, that's the number one focus. And when you look at the Community Free Clinic, its mission, what it does, healthcare is something that every community faces and is challenged with. And the cost of healthcare, the continued rise, and there's so many organizations that try to make healthcare better in any community. And when you look at what the Community Free Clinic does, my personal involvement in and around the clinic is probably pushing 20 years, and just seeing and being a part of to make it better. But, this gala coming to celebrate their 35th anniversary and, everything that the committee and the board and the team that's doing over at the clinic to move this forward and make it, we're proud to be a part of it because of the difference that they make. The efforts that they make in the community. And, I believe that if you raise the healthcare, you'll raise the economic status of a community, and everybody moves forward that way. So I appreciate your comments. The bank is heavily involved, and, we've loved the Community Free Clinic for a long time. We're continuous participants of the mud volleyball every summer, and, we have a lot of fun with that. And
things got a little bit of mud there.
I've been known to play a few times, although I'm getting a little older now, and my wife says I'll break something, so I'm not allowed to play most of the time now. But we love the clinic and what it does, and and what it brings to the table for the underserved.
Yeah, you believe in the mission.
100%.
And the mission of Middletown Valley Bank is believing in the mission of those wonderful organizations, and you show that, and you have it in spades.
Absolutely, and the joint unity of where that mission and goal goes coincides well with the two organizations.
It does. Michael, again, we're speaking with Michael Stanford. He's a board member, longest-serving board member of the Community Free Clinic of Washington County. Michael, the Maryland Theater is going to be the place to be on February 8th. The time runs 5:30 until 9. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm going to look at this.
By all means.
To make sure that I don't misspeak. Yep, 5:30 to 9.
Now, I want to make sure that everyone who may be watching this and decides, I really would like to go to that, has the opportunity to go. However, there is something to keep in mind. You must be 21 to attend. We'll get to why that is later. I'm sure you can figure that out. It is a masquerade-themed attire. Black tie is, of course, optional. And there are 4 floors to the Maryland Theater. Michael, will the masquerade ball be utilizing all 4 floors?
All 4 floors.
Oh, wow, okay.
We have a casino floor. We'll have entertainment and music. We will have, so the way it kind of runs is first floor is where you come in. There's a bar there. There'll be the Barbara Ingram School Jazz Ensemble there. And that raises up into the second floor where the bar area is. So we'll have hors d'oeuvres, heavy hors d'oeuvres throughout all 4 floors. Third floor will be our casino floor, so we'll have tables there where you can go in and try your hand at some of the gaming tables. They'll also have So again, this is new to me, so I stumble a little bit. BJ's very, very polished, I noticed. Thank you, BJ. We'll have raffle items. We're going to have a silent auction.
I saw you have a silent auction coming there. Yeah, those are always fun, and those are the ones where, having been part of many charitable events that have silent auctions, it's always that people will go up and they'll look, and they might place a bid, and then you make an announcement after announcement after announcement. Check your bids. We're gonna, and then next thing you know, it is this mad dash at the end for everyone to go and check, which I think is probably part of the fun of having a silent auction like that.
And I don't know of all the items at this point, but we have some. One's a plane trip to Latrobe for dinner for 2, and then back. So that was gracefully donated by Henson, or actually it would have been through Steve Pearl himself, him and his wife Nicole. They're gonna have a photo booth when you come in, or kind of like the runway type thing as well when you come in. 4th floor will be entertainment. We're going to have a band. It will be Lana Spence Band. So there'll be some other hors d'oeuvres. Desserts will be on the 3rd floor. So if I bounce back and forth, I have to kind of remember.
Yeah, sure.
I wasn't sure all the questions here, so.
So you put the desserts with the table games. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is there a strategy to that?
Well, we want people to move around. So go upstairs, you listen to music, come down for the desserts, go back upstairs, work off some of the desserts, dancing.
Because the idea of the table games is to get people to spend money, right, BJ? Right. So what do? You put it with the sweets.
Yeah, you put it with the sweets, and coming back to the auction items, it is really entertaining to watch people. They really, once they bid, they guard, and then the next person comes and they bid again. And, the key to it, to Michael's point with the trip to Latrobe, I mean, when you have great auction items, you can generate a lot of money. So, the importance of this event, to Michael's point earlier, is all money is raised by the clinic from the community. Mm-hmm. So, we're selling tickets to the event. We want everybody to come, bring their checkbook with them, or we'll take credit card at the door because we need to raise the money for auction items. I will tell you one other thing, though. That entertainment and music on that 4th floor, I'm pretty sure there'll probably be a bar there as well. A lot of people in the community know Michael Stanford really well. I'm pretty sure that he'll have his dancing shoes on that night. How about it, Michael?
Yeah. Well, one can hope, and you can join him and have your dancing shoes on as well. It is the Community Free Clinic's 35th anniversary of Masquerade Gala. Now, I want to make sure that we put the website out there. mycommunityfreeclinic.org/events is the website. You can go there, get your tickets, and they are very reasonably priced. I believe in advance they're, $35? Are they not?
$135.
$135. Okay, somebody on my paperwork missed the one. Okay, very good. Either way, I mean, it sounds like an incredible event. I have not been to it. This may be my first year,
This is our first one for this gala.
It's never been.
So you've never. Oh, okay. All right.
35th
very good.
anniversary gala.
Wow.
It's going to be
doing
an
it up
amazing
big.
night.
Yeah. And what we're actually, I mean, it's severalfold. One is we're doing up big because it's our 35th anniversary. We have some awesome sponsors.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had the list in front of me because now I feel a little bad that I don't.
Right.
But besides that, then we also want to give something to the community where they can come and enjoy themselves.
Yes.
Because this isn't going to be a rubber chicken dinner. It's not a sit-down dining. There's heavy hors d'oeuvres on all 4 floors, bars on all 4 floors, events on all 4 floors, to a beautiful, beautiful location.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Maryland Theater. I mean, you just can't ask for a better location.
You could not. It is going to be an amazing evening, and of course, the one sponsor that we won't forget about. I mean,
Yeah.
Middletown. If we forget about that one, Michael, I think might as well just call it a day right now. We're done then, right?
Yeah, I know. And it took a lot to get him there,
Michael knows I'm unforgettable.
That's very true. You certainly are. So let me just go over some of the things that I'm kind of going to recap what Michael said. If there's anything you guys would like to interject, please do. But all the details, February 8th, 5:30 to 9, Maryland Theater, that's 21 South Potomac Street in Hagerstown. Masquerade themed attire or black tie, optional, 21 to attend. All 4 floors of the Maryland Theater will be taken over for this event. There's a casino floor, entertainment and music featuring the Lana Spence Band, heavy hors d'oeuvres, auction items, raffle items, and a photo booth / walking the runway, as Michael said. So we are going to have an amazing night that night. We would love for you to be there to join. It is not just open to anybody in Washington County or Hagerstown. Anyone who is watching this, hearing this, by all means, visit the website, mycommunityfreeclinic.org/events. Get your tickets now. What are if you know this, Michael, and I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here, but on average, what are the operating expenses that you try to cover in an amount for a year, on average?
You actually just kind of hit the nail on the head when you use the term operating expenses. In a nonprofit world, the hardest thing to raise is money for operations. Operations are salary, lights, heat, things like that. Buildings, things that people can touch, they'll tend to donate towards that, but the operations is what keeps us going. We can have the largest building there is, but without the operational money, we can't run it.
Correct.
Without our providers who donate their time, we wouldn't be able to provide the service that we do. To kind of break it down, don't quote me well, you're going to, obviously, because we're recording this, but so somewhere around the $400 range, we're taking care of a patient for an entire year. Okay. That includes being seen by the doctors. That includes their tests, their blood work. That includes their medication. We dispense medication to our clients there at the Community Free Clinic.
I think what's great to think about, I love that you gave that example, that number. Because if you think about it, if you come to this event and you can somehow find a way to give or spend $400, you have taken care of one of our community members. And I think that really humanizes and brings it down to a level that I think we can all understand. I mean, $400 is, one might say, well, $400 is life-changing money. It is. It could be life-saving money. In this case, BJ, I mean, that's 100%.
Big. I think you have to keep in mind, too, he mentioned the providers for the medical care. That time is also donated from the physicians in the community who come and support the free clinic. That's what helps to keep the cost down as well. And I think as we're here representing the clinic, one of the major components is that medical community that gives of their time heartlessly to keep that cost at $400 for a patient. It's just
imagine
an amazing number.
If you were to extrapolate that out to what the real cost would be if money had to exchange hands at the standard rate, even half of what the quote unquote going rate is. I cannot imagine. It really is life-changing money, life-saving money, $400 a person. It may not seem like a lot to the average person, but it will mean the world to the people who this affects. So, Michael, of all the interviews that I've done, I'm glad that that's one fact that I've been given, that I'm so glad you did that, because that really helps to paint the picture.
I'd like to kind of expand that picture.
Please.
What people also tend to forget, it may be your neighbor you're helping, and you don't know it. So a lot of our patients are gainfully employed. They just can't afford insurance. it doesn't matter with all the different insurance plans that has occurred. There are still people that are in between jobs, or even if they have a job, there are some people that opt not to take the insurance because they'd rather pay the fine, for not having it because they can't afford it.
Well, these people are making a decision that hopefully no one ever has to make, but they do. It could be as simple as they're making a decision to have their health, to be able to pay their health insurance or put food on their table.
Right.
That's or
the
heat their
decision
home.
that happens every day.
And the community free clinic bridges the gap.
Yep.
And that's so. Michael, you said it beautifully. You're coming back, so we'll bring him back. BJ, how about that? We have Michael back. He gives think of more great examples, more ways to bring it down to the level that people can understand. You did a great job with that, Michael. Thank you.
You know, Tony, I would say something. Michael, being the longest serving board member of the free clinic, speaks to his passion for the organization, and I think this community. And the community free clinic, while they associate Michael with that a lot, I don't know that they understand the depth of his commitment to the organization. And he deserves, especially on this Talk TriState, to be commended for that effort.
Agreed.
And what he
Absolutely.
does for the people in this community. It's amazing to see.
Yep.
It's 20 years ago, quite frankly, why I got involved, because of Michael Stanford. So.
Well, that is a glowing endorsement and certainly well deserved. Certainly, we'll have you both back on here. BJ, you're one of Katie's favorites, and she said that if she were here, she'd give you a hug. And but we're going to let you both go. And thank you so much for joining us on Let's Talk TriState. Remember, February 8th, Maryland Theater. Get your tickets now. It is mycommunityfreeclinic.org/events. Get those tickets. $135 a person. Money well spent. $400 to take care of one of our citizens in our area with the Community Free Clinic for 1 year, which is amazing. So thanks to all of the providers. Thanks to everyone who's on the board. Thanks to all of the folks who volunteer their time. Thanks to Middletown Valley Bank for being a platinum sponsor and all the other sponsors. Absolutely, yes. And if you visit the website, and I can confirm that those are all listed on the website. So take a look at those sponsors. Certainly those businesses are deserving of your dollars. We'll be right back with more Let's Talk TriState.
Let's talk TriState.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk TriState, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.
I'm Nick Seco from Home Right Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState with Tiny and Katie.
Let's talk TriState.
Welcome back to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors, the right choice in Waynesboro, voted Best of the Tri-State 2024. My dear friends from Teflon Roofing, I have Andy and Jason back with us again. How are things going?
Good.
Good?
Yep.
How's the roofing business this time of year? Is it slow?
It is slowing down, which is honestly kind of nice to get a break because we're so busy the other 9 months out of the year. So a little bit of downtime for us just to get our thoughts together, our process together for the upcoming roofing season.
So what do you guys do in this off season? Like how do you keep your time busy?
watch YouTube videos. No. It's marketing strategies, how we can improve our process to make things better for the homeowner, which is always our number one priority. And then we just kind of go from there, brainstorming, talking to you guys about getting better ideas.
And what I like about Teflon Roofing, you guys do a wonderful job, but you're really active in the community as well. And just before we started recording, you were telling me about the fact that you were offering rides to people who weren't able to get out because of the snow the other day. What sparked that idea?
That was primarily Jason's idea. I wish I could take credit for that.
That's a good one.
It's mainly because I don't really want to use the word empathy, but it's just caring about your community. Because so many people in life in general, not just business, they care about themselves, or they care about this or care about that. But when you start caring about other things around you, because we were thinking, what if there's older people that need to go to a doctor's appointment, have to go to a grocery store? We thought about our parents because they're getting older as well. It would be nice just to offer that. So, yeah, we did offer if anyone needed rides or whatever, give us a call.
And you went mildly viral.
Yeah, we were.
That was a surprise.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole idea stemmed from last year. A lot of my mom's family, not my mom's family, a lot of my mom's colleagues and their parents and just friends that we have that are older, 50, 55, 60, 65 years old, when it was snowing that they couldn't get in and out of their driveway.
Right.
So we were, putting on our story that everything, hey, if you have somebody that's not able, we'll come out, help shovel, like no charge, nothing like that, just because, I grew up in Shippensburg, and now we're situated in Chambersburg. So I think that morning, I thought about it the night before, and then that morning it popped into my head about 7 o'clock. It was like, hey, you should make a post for this. And yeah, it definitely took off.
That's really cool. That speaks volumes for you guys. I mean, I know that you own a roofing company and that's your primary focus, but community is your primary focus realistically.
100%, because it's obviously all companies care about the bottom line, but we look at it different. Like, our customers are our main priority every single step of the way, because the interaction not only with you, but the way the process goes while we're doing your roof, like that's our next 3 jobs. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, we don't rely on marketing and advertising dollars like 90% of the companies out there do. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically just honing in and working on your community and doing things for your community. And we got a lot in store this year for the Chambersburg and Shippensburg area again as well. A lot of pro bono stuff that we're going to be doing.
Care to share some of that with us?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
What about things that have been done in the past?
Something that we are doing now, though, that we can share because it's nothing like groundbreaking or too terrible. We are offering free roof inspections for realtors in the area because we know what some people charge just for a roof inspection. Because when if you're buying or selling a house and the homeowner comes for a homeowner's inspection, they don't know how to get on a roof. They just check the basic things. So we were like, that's something we'll just offer for free. It occupies our time in the winter also. But it's also about building relationships, which also just goes back to generally helping people. Part of the best part I've had with Teflon is meeting the homeowners and just staying in contact, through every step of the process. And half of my correspondence ends up not even being about the roof. We end up talking about sports, our dogs. It's just
connecting with people.
Yeah, it's just getting to know people. Because a big thing that Jason values, which is great, it's I can't stress enough. It's about genuinely caring about a homeowner, because everyone's been ripped off at some point in their life.
Yep.
I don't care who you are, how smart you are, how whatever, and it's the worst feeling in the world, And we always tell people, whether or not you go with us or not, you go with who you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
But I'd say I don't even know what percentage of jobs we've had where people have told us, and we do ask people, is there a reason you chose us? And they just said, man, we just got a good vibe from you. I
think that there is a lot of gut feeling involved with something like that. And I can imagine that when you are getting your roof done, or that your roof is starting to go, you're automatically, like, your defenses go up because you're just thinking, this is going to be a monumental amount of money that I don't want to spend. And so you're automatically on the defense. Is it going to cost this much? Am I getting ripped off? It's like if you go and have to get something done to your car. I know for me personally, I'm automatically on the defense because, I don't want to be taken advantage of. but I know that you guys are trustworthy. So it's good it just is a sense of comfort knowing you are not trying to rip me off. You are going to get me the best deal. You truly care about my situation that I'm in. It's important.
Something you just said, it's directly correlated with auto sales. It's a big purchase you have to make. Even if you're only buying a $6,000 car, that's a lot of money to a lot of people, where some people, $30,000 is not a lot of money. It's all relative. But, I was in the auto industry for years, and it's the same thing with the roofing. I'll tell people, we would love to have your business, but what's important is getting what's right for you. The worst question I would tell people when they would ask is, what do you think about this car? And I'll say, it doesn't matter what I think. You're going to be the one driving it, and it's just like with a roof, because a roof is such a major component of your home. I didn't realize how important a roof is. It's your whole house. If your roof is bad, your house is bad. And we just try to make people feel comfortable just by being honest, forthright, and then that's kind of what led to the whole initial question about the Facebook post about just helping people.
Yeah. And not being pushy when we're in the homeowner's house.
Yeah.
And there's just so many people out there nowadays, and there's more and more roofing companies being created, and they're all jam. And like Andy said, it's the most important decision that you're going to make after buying your house. And I'm not going to sit there in front of you knowing that you called 3 other people, and always call 3 other people, always get 3 estimates, and try to jam something down your throat, knowing damn well that, my dad himself wouldn't want somebody to come in and try to sell them right there. Obviously, I would love to earn your business and not have to come back, but that's just not the way we feel that the game should be played.
And you guys don't use subcontractors at all, correct?
Everybody uses subcontractors.
Oh, you do use subcontractors. Okay.
Everybody uses subcontractors.
Okay.
Yeah, we do a lot of jobs ourselves as well, though. Depends on the job, the type of material, stuff like that.
I won't say everybody, 95% of them.
I can imagine. I mean, there's only so much, the two of you guys can do in a day.
I still have the group of 5 that we do most of our metal, but pivoting from the past 6 years where I actually did 90% of all the installs and finding good contractors that are going to do an excellent job, because 90% of subcontractors are subcontractors for a reason. They couldn't get their own work. So it's been my pursuit to try to find the guys that are comfortable in that spot, that actually are good enough to where they could go get their own jobs, but they're working for 3 or 4 different contractors, and there's never any issues. And we've been lucky enough to find one of them so far, and working on Giovanni and them, and trying to put a second really good crew together that if we ever needed it, because the first one, those guys have up to 24 people. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of guys.
Yeah, that is.
If you had a 100-square roof to go in and it had to be done in 2 days, we could do that without any issues at all, just because of the training that has been in place. So, I mean, you could find guys to come and install a roof for $70 a square, or you could find guys to come install a roof for $150 a square.
I want to go back to when you were talking about estimates. You had mentioned that you encourage everybody to get at least 3 estimates on a roof. Have you ever seen an estimate come your way that was just so astronomically overpriced? It just blew your mind. Have you've experienced that?
Yeah, 100%. And it's normally the big marketing companies. You know what I mean? It's the people that are spending the bottom tier to get your roof installed. They're giving you an average product, but charging you $1,000 a square.
And why do people go with those companies then?
They don't know no better.
Okay.
They think that's the pushy side of things. You know what I mean? If you had 4 people come into you, and let's just say I was the first person, which I always love being the first person, because I'm not, most people say that because they're trying to earn your business right there and they're going to jam it down your throat. I'm not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and show you every single aspect of what we do, and then I'm going to tell you what 2, 3, and 4 are going to come in here and try to do. That way, when 2, 3, and 4 are exactly the same, I'm the only one giving you the difference. And when I first started doing that, I was automatically eliminated because I was the only one giving different information than what 2, 3, and 4 was. Well, now our presence is so good. You know what I mean? We have the Facebook, we have the Instagram, we have the YouTube, that it's more reliable to believe somebody that's going to be different from 2, 3, and 4, when 2, 3, and 4 are obviously just salesmen. They're not involved in the business. They don't care. If your roof leaks at 11 o'clock at night, they're not. Yeah,
they're not coming out to look at it.
Coming out,
sure.
You know
I can't tell you how many times. So when I dispatch an estimate to Jason, when I'm speaking to them on the phone, asking what issues they're having, and I'll say, hey, let's just say, does Thursday 2 p.m. work? They're like, yeah. And I'll say, just put about 20 to 30 minutes aside, right? And sometimes they get confused, like 20 to 30 minutes. I'm like, yeah, they're like, my other estimates all took 2 hours. And as soon as they say that, I'm like, listen, we're not a sales or a marketing company. You're not going to get a sales pitch. You're not going to get 20 demonstrations. If someone does that, walk away. They're not a real roofing company.
Somebody drops your price, walk away.
Yeah, like it's just like if you go buy a car and someone says this car's listed for $40,000, you haggle with them for an hour. How do they go from 40 to 32? That's impossible. These roofing companies will start at 35,000. Oh, let me make a call. You know what? We can do it for 18. I mean, that's a huge red flag right there. And when I tell people that on the phone, they're just like, I feel like I just want to go with you already. I'm like, well, wait till you meet Jason. Any questions you have?
Yeah.
And people have said that because I'm like, he's going to go out there, hop on your roof. Or just how many people have told me they went with us because the other people didn't even get on the roof. I'm like, you have to go on the roof in order to take a look at it.
Or have a drone up there or something to get an idea.
And even that can't give you, what you're looking at unless he's up on the roof looking at every corner, every crack. And he's gone on estimates and told people you don't need a roof. And people have gotten estimates. And I explained to them, I wouldn't necessarily say these people are ripping you off. You called them for an estimate, so they gave you one. But very rarely is someone going to say your roof is fine.
Right.
Or tell you to call 3 other people, get 3 estimates.
Right. I love that you said that earlier.
It's just being different, being full transparency around it. And I think the biggest downside of everything now that equity companies and people that don't even know how to install a roof are taking over trades. So they have the CFOs, the CSMs, and all those 3-letter positions inside of an office where if your subcontractor said, hey, we're not going to work for you anymore, how would you still run a business? Like, you don't have any marketing experience. You're hiring a marketing company to do it. You don't have any roofing experience. You're hiring subcontractors to come in and do your work. So you're just kind of like you're 100% middleman. Like, you don't do really anything. You're just kind of like the go-between. And it's sad in the industry because, in Chambersburg, we have several companies that are in that area that are really, really good. But the guys aren't spending $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month on ads. So you don't see those guys.
Right.
Whereas in the people that are in your house for 3 hours are the ones that are spending the $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month. So obviously you
that's
see
top
them
of mind
first.
when you,
Yes.
I understand.
And then it's kind of hard because then you go the other direction and you're taking referrals from people that you know, and obviously they don't know if their friend's roofing company is really good or not. Like, they just know that guy does roofing, and then you hire him and it doesn't turn out the best way. So it's a really, really tricky time right now with technology and ads and being a homeowner that's trying to get a good product at a fair price. It's really, really tough nowadays.
And I like that you, this resonated with me when you said this earlier, that you guys are offering free estimates and you're actually going to get onto the roof for realtors, you said?
Yep. So,
we spoke about this last time, but I was looking into buying a house, and when I did the home inspection, the guy, he was lovely, but he wasn't up on the roof. He was in the attic looking at it from underneath, and I think used a drone or something to give me a general idea. But I'm not going to purchase a house if the roof is falling apart, and I need to know, anyone who's buying a house would need to know what really is the condition of it. The last thing you want to do is buy a home, and then within a month, now I got to spend $10,000 on a new roof.
We just actually had an emergency install in Mechanicsburg in the freezing cold that I'm not super thrilled about right now because I can foresee something going wrong in the future. Even though we followed everything the manufacturer wanted it, but it's not supposed to be super cold outside when you're installing a roof. There's a lot that can go wrong. But we had a really good crew on it, and I'm sure it's going to be totally fine. It's just me from a standpoint going against quality and the way we normally do things. The gentleman was moving from California. He went through the process, got estimates. He actually got 5 different estimates, selected us, and we were on pace to do his roof installation sometime in March. Well, his insurance company called and said, we're not covering this roof. There's far too much moss on it. We're not going to wait till March, which was different because normally in all the years past, as long as you had a signed contract and everything was good to go, the insurance company was totally fine with insuring it as long as you had a written contract. Not the case. So we had to set up, get everything replaced, which we did, I think January 2nd, we did the replacement. So it's just the home inspector report. Everybody just thinks that if the home inspection report goes fine, that, the insurance company is going to cover you. And that's not the case at all. Like, you don't find out until you actually purchase the property that your insurance coverage is they're not gonna cover you because the roof is past 15 years old.
Right.
There's algae, there's moss, there's things like that. So now you're getting an unexpected big price tag for doing something when you could have avoided all that and called, asked for the home inspection, got the pictures, seen a professional roofer tell you, hey, this, and this. Your insurance company might not do this. You know what I mean? That way you're a little bit more prepared than just going off the home inspector.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but insurance companies are really cracking down on roofs when you are buying a home, correct? I know my company told me straight up when I was looking into buying a house, like that is the number one thing that we're looking at right now is the roof. And we are cracking down on how old is it? What's the condition of it? We need pictures. We need this, that, et cetera, which I think is...
You can anticipate if that roof's more than 15 years old and it's not a lifetime system, like it's not a standing seam or a slate like the one that you had, they're going to require you to replace it before they cover you. Mm-hmm. And that's probably, I'd say, about 75 to 90% of the coverage right now. So,
and 15 years doesn't seem that long.
No. You know, we were here in Greencastle over the summer in a development, and we had to do a total roof replacement on a house that was only 9 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
And
what happened to the roof?
It was the install. So they explained to me, I don't want to say the home builder,
of course.
But they built a development, and they said, you know, they were showing me, they said, you see that development right over there at the end of the street up on the hill? I'm like, yeah. They go, that development, like 30 houses popped up in like 2 months. It's one reason that we don't typically bid on big developments like that, because they're always just looking for the cheapest labor, the cheapest product, fastest, get it up. But we'll never put our name on that, because all these big developments that are just popping up, like, you know, you see these mass commercial developments, they have the cheapest product, and it's just the install. They find the cheapest labor. And like I said, this house, it's under 10 years old, and they had leaks everywhere, shingles popping up.
Oh, my gosh.
We had 2 or 3 of them like that this year.
Oh, my goodness.
And actually, I think insurance covered them all. But
which is rare.
Yeah.
Normally when it's I think the homeowner had some connections, you know what I mean? But at that point, you know, it's rare, because normally when you get a bad installation, like, people think that your lifetime coverage is a lifetime coverage, and it's just not the case. Mm-hmm. Like, most of the lifetime warranties that are out there, you might as well just set fire to them and let them burn.
Because typically
if the contractor that you pick isn't 100% in it for your best interest, it's not going to turn out good. You know what I mean? There's a difference between the lifetime warranties and the craftsmanship warranties. Your lifetime warranties are manufacturer warranties, which means that shingle that I put on your roof, should anything ever happen to it itself, that's where your lifetime warranty.
The product goes back.
Right. Not the installation.
The installation is where you need the craftsmanship warranty, the workmanship warranty, because if you don't have that workmanship warranty, you might as well kiss that lifetime warranty goodbye, because the manufacturer is going to find every reason they can
to not
cover it.
Of course.
You know what I mean? They'll spend 10 times more money making you run through the hoops and try to go to court against them than just paying for your roof, because they know if they pay for your roof, then the floodgates are going to open and they won't ever be able to do business again, because there's going to be constant litigation by fake claims and things like that when people think that it's the shingle, when in reality it's the installation that happened, because you're going to get a manufacturer problem maybe less than 1% of a time. So you're looking at very, very small percent of what you're going to install throughout the course of your life, and it's going to be very, very low.
One thing I love about doing this show is that when I am finally ready to buy a home, I know who's doing my roof. I know who's doing my windows and my doors. Like, I have everything covered that I could possibly need. So Andy and Jason, in the last minute that we have here, make sure people know how to get in touch with you if they have any roofing questions, need an estimate. You know, how can people get in touch with you?
A couple of different ways. So the website, teflonroofing.com. The phone number is 717-830-8454. We can be reached through social media as well, Facebook, Instagram, but calling is always the best way. Most people like to call. Or they can email as well. It's on the website, teflonroofing717@gmail.com.
Or just pop on in and say hi to you.
Yeah, stop into our amazing office. It wows everyone.
And we're located at 372 Grant Street, Chambersburg, Pennsylvania.
We are literally
Farmers Market.
Yeah, we are 100 yards from Gear House.
Okay.
If anyone goes to Gear House, which I'm sure a lot of people do, if you see Omega Coffee right next to it, We did
Great
that
place.
We did that massive roof this past summer as well.
Oh, so while you're enjoying a beverage, you can see your work right out the window?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And, if you come into the office randomly, it'll probably just be me there, or it'll be empty. One of the two.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming back and sharing a little bit about roofing and everything that you discussed. I think it's good information. It's really, really good to know. So thank you guys again for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Of course. We'll be right back with Let's Talk Tri-State.
Let's talk Tri-State.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.